March 21st, 2023. I'm back up north. We're doing a little rewilding today. Let's take a look at what kind of plant life is going on out here. We got wavy leaf soap plant. We got Pacific poison oak. Let's just rub my cut right on there and see if it does anything. And we have wild cucumber, also known as, oh God, what is it? Desert starvine. And this grows crazy fast. Now check this out. Check how it's using the other plant as its support. In fact, it seems almost reliant upon it. Another reason that pulling branches out of the ground, pulling dead trees out of the ground, removing saplings is detrimental in a way that you might not originally think. Because a plant like this, which benefits who knows what organisms, can't do what it does without the smaller stuff. And looky here, you got more of the wild cucumber, the desert starvine, which actually aren't the same in the listing, so I shouldn't say them together. I don't know which one to call it. Take your pick, but look again at how it uses and relies upon fallen branches, a support system. So an interesting study here would be to find out which animals rely upon desert starvine and the impacts of not allowing them to grow. All right, let's stop for a second because this is worth digging into. I went home and I tried to properly identify the plant, and it turns out that this is not desert starvine, even though I was almost convinced that it was over the wild cucumber. Desert starvine and wild cucumber look very similar, and they're both found in California. They're both native to the United States. So the way to figure it out was to look up the habitat according to Calscape. Desert starvine should be in a desert, even though with climate change, this place often feels like a desert, but it's not. This is a riparian area where this wild cucumber is known to be found. Okay, so that was my deciding factor. The next important thing, the amount of wildlife associated with this plant that relies upon this plant. It was a pretty long list. It was significant. You know, and scratch that. So what if it was a long list? What if it was only one? That still makes it important. It's another example of why the sanitization of our forests, as I call it, the clearing of our forests, where we're trying to make it an urban landscape setting where it's just a tree and nothing else around it, is unhealthy. This vine requires smaller trees and shrubs and saplings and dead wood and sticks in order for its survival, followed by the organisms that require on that plant's survival.